How you feeling? You back out on the practice field with the guys now?
I feel great, bro. You know, we kind of took a precautionary measures to, you know, get back to where I needed to be, but I feel great. You know, I've been ramping it up now for 2 weeks, just on my own though. You know what I'm saying? Not with the team, but I've been ramping it up for a couple of weeks now. So I mean, it's kind of, you know, getting back to normal and, you know, just getting used to it again.
Look like you've been working hard during practice every day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Coach Yano has done a great job, and, you know, Coach Bach, they both done a great job with me, you know, during the time that I was down. I mean, we've been doing circuits. I almost feel like I came in better. I'm coming into better shape than I would have, you know, coming in back in, you know, 4 weeks ago or so. So I mean, I've been getting in, man, just on my own type of time, and, you know, making sure that, you know, my core is getting stronger and everything else is getting stronger while I'm still, you know, getting back with my lower half.
Were you chomping at the bit? I mean, you got to get a little FOMO watching the guys practice and you can't get out there with them, right?
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, when you see something that you know you could do very well, or, you know, something like in that aspect, you know, it definitely, you know, gives you FOMO. But, you know, I'm here now, ready to compete again, and, you know, just put my best foot forward.
You think you're gonna go on Sunday?
I doubt it this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, for precautionary measures.
Right.
Not saying that I can't, but, you know, even if I was, I'd be limited. So, you know, just rather be safe than sorry.
Get it right for the regular season.
For sure.
How have you seen, I mean, you watched it, you've been in the meetings, seen the defense kind of coming together over the course of camp. I know you haven't been able to get out on the field with the guys just yet, but I mean, you've seen the layers and the work that's going into it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a great scheme. You know, I feel like, especially for me, I feel like it's just going to allow me, or just really just give me the keys. And, you know, my coaches have expressed this to us, kind of just giving us the keys. It's going to, you know, they want it to be, there's a baseline for it, there's a standard for what you need to do.
Right.
But as on, you know, different players do different things and different body types do different things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as of, you know, doing it a certain way, you know, I feel like they're a lot better than, you know, what you'll say maybe last year about, you know, different guys adjusting to things differently, or, you know, it might not be exactly the same, but it's still just, like I said, the same baseline of what we're doing.
Is that a strength of you guys' room? You mentioned the body types. I mean, Eric, Devon, you, even Tyler Lacey, all of y'all kind of have a different kind of body type, built a little different to be able to kind of throw different things at offensive line.
For sure. I mean, I think versatility brings, you know, an edge to our defensive line. A lot of different guys can play a lot of different places, so, you know, I feel like that does give us an advantage, and, you know, gets us going and be able to scheme different guys up in, you know, different body types, kind of like you said.
I think when we talked during the offseason, you said you felt like you were more powerful than you were going into last year.
Yep.
Do you feel like you've gotten that back, or did the injury kind of slow that down?
I mean, I've been working out ever since I went down, so, you know, I still think I'm still the same, you know, still the same as I was coming in before the lower body. And, you know, I feel like it's going to be good going forward.
Are those injuries like a delicate line, like especially when it's something soft like that? Because I know you dealt with injuries before.
Yeah. Just not really like this, though, to be honest. This is kind of my first, I guess you say, like a soft tissue.
Okay.
You know, the only other injuries that I've really had was, you know, knee, and anything else, maybe a shoulder, but soft tissue definitely a little different.
It's a little nicky-nack. Like you feel good and then you kind of like...
You feel good and then... So it's kind of like going back and forth. Like I'll feel good a day, you know, and I come back sore the next day and I'll feel decent, and then it'll kind of flare up on me. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of been day by day, you know, but it is definitely a lingering injury. Kind of like I guess, in my mind, you know, asking them, they kind of told me you could kind of look at it as like a high ankle sprain, something that kind of lingers on even after you're good to go.
Right.
Something that might linger on for a week or 2 or 3, 4, you know, depending on how strong it gets. So, I mean, like I said, just taking it day by day and getting it better and better. You know, keep getting it to get looser and looser and just continue to grow.
Can that play mind games? Because you show up, you be like, oh, I'm good today, all right, and then you do it, you push it, and you're like, maybe not.
I mean, I feel like, you know, as football players, you learn how to work through stuff that, you know, I feel like that nobody's truly 100%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Through any point, you know, whether it's, you might be a little nicked up on the shoulder or the leg. So I feel like, you know, it doesn't really play any mind games. I feel like, if I wasn't confident enough for going in the game or, stuff like that, I wouldn't put myself in that position.
I think we've talked about your in week once you get into the season routine, it's changed from what you started with last year by the end of last season.
For sure.
How has it evolved? Have you changed it more since the end of last season, or decided what that end week routine will be like for you when the season does get here?
I've been kind of trying to stay on that routine. Getting here as early as I can. I usually get in here around 6:30, 6:45, and just get something going on the lower body, and then going to the weight room, get my workout in. So it's measures that I'm taking to stay on that routine. But if I see something that I can do better, along the way, then I'll definitely check that out and make the changes necessary.
What's it like in those meeting rooms with Coach Camp? It sounds like it gives y'all something different just about every day, motivational wise.
Yeah, he's the same guy every day, man, and that's something that I can respect from him, and I have a lot of respect for him. I think as a team, as an organization, I think he is what we needed on defense. I come from the background of hard coaching. I signed to Ed Armstrong at LSU. Yeah. So, I come from a background of hard coaching, tough love. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's right on point on what he's doing. He wants it done aggressively. He wants it done the right way. And, I can't blame him for it. So, I think he's the same guy, everything, and I respect him for that. And that's my guy.